Welcome everyone to Ad Time, a game show with advertisements from all over the world. I'm John Rees, the ex-CEO of Marketing.com. Today's contestants are Diego, a social media analyst, and Natasha, a presenter from Russia Today.
I'm excited to hear.
Me too, John. I'm eager to win.
Let's get started then. Ladies and gents, today's theme is racism in beauty advertisements. We're going to see which one of our contestants is the best at spotting linguistic features used in ads. We'll also test their knowledge on how the language used impacts the target audience. So, are you guys ready?
As ready as I can be.
Clearly, he's talking about losing this game.
Anyway, here's our first minigame, Guess the Ending. In this minigame, we'll show you an ad segment and you'll have to guess the next few words. So, are we ready? Let's see our first ad. It's made by Fair and Lovely, a brand notorious for skin lightening products.
4 is my lucky number. I graduated after 4 years. Just before my 4th interview, I realized that the obstacle to obtain my dream job was...
The obstacle to obtain my dream job was my...
The obstacle to obtain my dream job was... education?
Nay.
I don't know, this is so vague. What do skin lightening products have anything to do with dream jobs?
My education is your answer. Well, it's wrong.
The obvious answer is my skin.
My skin, you say? Why is that?
See, the woman in the ad is considerably darker than all her friends. Also, as you said, Fair and Lovely is famous for skin lightening products, so they are eager to market their product in every way possible, even if offensive.
And it is correct! But why? Let's ask Alexa, the ad expert.
John, the skin lightening commercial was aired on India's private channel, ZTV. It is directed at a young audience from the Middle East and India as it portrays a young woman fresh out of university, unable to find a job in Egypt. The obstacle to her dream job, as described by the ad, is the woman's skin.
Why do you think companies want to profit from such a sensitive issue?
The answer is simple. Companies are exploiting women's need for appreciation to promote their products as keys to success. This can be seen in the alliteration of the letter O in obstacle to obtaining, which emphasizes this metaphor and illustrates the advertisement's negative association with having dark.
Additionally, the metaphor conveys the physical and mental obstructions that come with having dark skin, as people lose inner confidence due to not being able to conform with societal expectations. As a result of this lack of confidence, people avoid doing their best, and thus their dream job is never fulfilled.
This is crazy. But if this advertising scheme is so obvious, why?
In this ad, Fair and Lovely implements emotional appeal, also known as pathos. This ad shows a woman who has studied for 4 years in university getting turned down because of her dark skin. This creates pathos as the audience feels sympathetic for her. Also, viewers with darker skin do not want a similar thing happening to them, which encourages them to buy the product.
Okay, let's move on to visual verdict. This is a mini game all about details, so you'll have to pay close attention. I'll show you a frame from the ad and you'll have 5 seconds to look at it. You'll then have to answer a question based on that frame. Who buzzes first and says the right answer wins. Let's begin. Here's the frame.
For total fairness.
The question for this visual verdict is: what visual element is used to advertise the product?
I say it's her face. It gets whiter from left to right. Also, she looks happier as her skin gets whiter. This is used to create pathos, as consumers commonly buy products to make them happy. Seeing a woman who is significantly happier with lighter skin encourages people to buy the product.
The answer is correct. Now let's ask Alexa for her thoughts on this.
One can see from the fragment, the women seem to be ranked based on their color, and the whiter the faces get, the happier they appear to be. This is shown by the fairest person grinning, which mirrors her inner confidence. Furthermore, the darkest woman seems to be turned away at an angle where her full face is not visible, implying that she wants to be seen less.
It is so common that marketing experts use features that make the customers subconsciously believe that they need to buy the product.
Obvious feature of this fragment is the phrase total fairness in 4 weeks, which promises a completely white complexion in an unbelievably short span of time. It makes it seem that obtaining lighter skin is a fast and easy process that takes less than a month, which further convinces the audience to buy their product.
Thank you, Alexa. Now let's finish up the first round with the last mini-game, Sound Similar. We're going to play multiple segments and you'll need to look for ideas that are repeated.
4 is my lucky number. I graduated after 4 years. Just before my 4th interview, I realized that
A Fair and Lovely multivitamin with 4 essential vitamins, B3, E, A, and C, for total fairness.
Hey, Job, what are you doing at 4?
I told you 4 is my lucky number.
So what elements have been used multiple times?
Is constantly used to show different ideas throughout the ad. It is first used to describe the woman's lucky number, and it corresponds to the number of years she studied to obtain her dream job. It is used again to show that 4 job interviews were turned down because of her skin. And finally, after the woman lightens her skin and gets the job she wanted, a man asks her out at 4 p.m. These ideas all link back to the product's 4 whitening vitamins.
Exactly. The number 4 is repeated to emphasize the 4 active ingredients in the lightening product. Each time the number 4 is mentioned, the audience recalls the cream's 4 active ingredients and are reminded about their effect, skin fairness. This further conveys the message that the cream's 4 elements contribute to a better life through skin whitening.
By associating the woman's lucky number with the number of vitamins in the cream, the audience is continuously linked back to the product.
Those are all valid points, Diego. Okay, let's move on to our next advertisement from a company called Snows, which promotes skin whitening pills. Alright, here comes the first minigame. Guess the ending.
ใหม่ที่เข้ามาแทนที่อาจทำให้เรากลายเป็นดาวดักแค่ขาวก็ชนะ
Whiteness makes you... So what do you think the woman said?
Whiteness makes you youthful? She talks about being afraid of becoming a faded star, so it has to do something with aging.
Unfortunately, your answer is wrong. Diego, any ideas? We now have Adil, the advertisement analyst, to elaborate on this provocative advertisement.
This makes you victorious or something like that?
Close enough. The original commercial says, whiteness makes you win. Can you believe that?
Good morning, John. So now let's talk about this excerpt. So this excerpt utilizes a metaphor as the lady compares herself to a fading star. As one can see from the advertisement that as the woman says, the new kids will replace me, they will make me a faded star, a visual of another woman's pale face is shown to get darker, imitating a dying star. This implies that your dark skin would make you look dull and without any exuberance and life, in comparison to people who have white skin. Furthermore, both the phrase faded star and the woman's disappointed expression as she starts having a darker skin provokes an anxious reaction from the audience as they fear to get rejected from the society for not looking as beautiful as someone with a white skin. This ultimately convinces them to buy the product. Additionally, the phrase, "the new kids will replace me," conveys an apprehensive tone by illustrating that the lady is afraid that her dulling complexion will no longer make her the center of attention, as that she will get replaced by younger kids with whiter skin. Furthermore, finally, the phrase, "white makes you win," uses alliteration of the letter W to promulgate that having a white skin is the only way to succeed in life, and thus having these pills are a necessity to.
Why do you think there is so much anxiety towards maintaining a perfectly pristine complexion?
This advertisement, made in Thailand, is directed at an Asian audience of all ages. Asian culture embraced fair skin for thousands of years, and an individual possessing it were culturally viewed elite and more economically stable. This is because in the past these individuals mostly stayed indoors and did not work in labor-intensive jobs in the sun, which in turn would have made their skin tan. Of course, nowadays this is no longer true, yet the cultural association remains similar.
Many people in the Asian world still desire fairer skin, as they believe that it will improve their social standing, which is why skin lightening products are so incredibly popular there. Moving on to the second minigame, Visual Verdict. You have 5 seconds to answer this question. How is juxtaposition used in this ad?
I know, similarly to the first advertisement, this one uses a comparison of lighter and darker skin tones. The woman with paper white skin on the left looks very confident, and she smiles and maintains a perfect posture, while the woman on the right with darker skin looks off camera shyly and hunches her back. Again, this reinforces the stigma dark skin has in Asian cultures, which is highlighted through the phrase, whiteness makes you win.
The pathos created by the phrase reinforces racial stereotypes of dark skin being inferior to white. Nobody wants to be seen as a loser and be left behind, so this company creates a bandwagon that encourages people to buy the product,
which is highlighted through the phrase, whiteness makes you win.
It's time to move on to Sounds Similar. You know the rules by now?
The idea constantly being repeated here is the woman's fear of losing her fairness. She says that if she stops taking care of herself, the whiteness she has invested and worked so hard to attain will be lost. As long as she remains white, she is above all competition and is winning.
Spot on! Don't you feel that this advertisement makes being white addictive?
In a way, it does. The woman is extremely fearful of becoming forgotten and must constantly take pills to keep herself white and happy. The company wants to get as many customers to be like this woman and thus ultimately get addicted to the product.
And that's a wrap. So what do you guys think about these ads?
The depressing reality of these ads is that they put down groups of people to advertise their products. They assume that those with darker skins are subjected to be less successful than those with lighter skin.
But this is why the skin lightening industry is so massive. It is because people buy into these assumptions and continue to purchase the products.
Unfortunately, the nature of these advertisements will remain unchanged as long as people have this fixed mindset. This raises the importance of progressive, open-minded thinking and self-acceptance. You are beautiful the way you are, and don't let cruel, money-grabbing corporations convince you otherwise. This has been Ad Time, everyone. Tune in next episode to learn more about popular, misogynistic commercials.